Hey, what's up everybody? It's Cameron with TZ Knives. It's officially been 6 months since we launched these knife sets, so I figured this would be a good time to do a few videos, kind of go over some of those popular questions we've been getting, as well as some of the key highlight points of the knife sets and the individual knives. So first of all, I want to start off by thanking everybody that has supported us up until this point. We're still a small team. There's only 3 of us, but we're growing very quickly. We have huge plans for 2025. You know, we're dumping just as much time into, you know, accessory kitchen products as we were into the knives, and we're also going to be scaling the knives quite a bit. A lot of cool ideas, a lot of drawings on the wall right now, a lot of big things coming in 2025. But wanted to kind of focus on what we have right now, which is, you know, our keynote product. It's the 6-piece knife set, the knife set we designed to basically conquer anything in the kitchen, whether you're a Michelin-rated chef or just an at-home cook. So the 3 tenets when we were kind of brainstorming this that we wanted to focus on was durability, corrosion resistance, and modularity. The modularity aspect of it was very interesting because we found that there's this huge problem with the knife set industry or the kitchen knife industry where you're kind of trapped in this corner of buy the entire knife set at once or don't buy at all. So it's forcing people into lower end Cuisinart style Target sets. And we kind of wanted to bridge that gap between super nice high-end chef knife and, you know, cheap sets. So what we wanted to do is build a set that was buildable over time, so you weren't just handcuffed to buying the entire set at once. So that's kind of where our modular block came in. And weirdly enough, when you design a kitchen knife set, one of the most important things is not the knives, it's actually the blocks. So we realized that early on. I mean, we can make the nicest knives in the world, but if you don't have good storage for them, then, you know, it's not going to do anything. So we created this block system that utilizes magnets, and you can buy each individual block one by one, magnetically attach them, however big or small you want to go. You want 6, whatever, 3, that's kind of the recommended size, but it allows you to kind of start with, you know, maybe 1 or 2 knives, throw it in there. These are universal knife slots, so they fit just about anything. That was really where we were going with the modularity aspect of it. Now, part 2 to that was the interchangeability of the handles. So this is kind of where the modularity and the corrosion resistance cross over. So we wanted to make removable handles because we found in early research that a lot of the bacteria buildup that was happening in kitchen knives was actually in the handles. We coined those the high bacteria zones of a knife. Whether you're cutting chicken, onions, whatever, all that bacteria seeps, even if it's a glued and pin knife, it seeps into the knife handles. We started there, said removable handles, that obviously means it needs to be a screw-on. We did exactly that, but the beauty of it is because they're all the exact same shape and size, we can remove those handles, change out the colors. Say you move different, maybe you have different cupboards or a different kitchen aesthetic. All you gotta do, 2 screws, new handles, good to go. So that kind of covers the modularity aspect of it, fully customizable. We're gonna be coming out with multiple different block colors, as well as multiple different handle colors. And that'll, you know, if you already have a set, you can change it out however you want. The handles are gonna be cheap, super easy. So modularity, covered that. Now corrosion resistance, going back into that crossover aspect. We wanted to create a knife that obviously did not ever corrode. Big problem with high-end kitchen knives or high-end chef knives is surface corrosion. And that's basically when moisture is able to penetrate the steel. So we played around with a ton of steels, played around with a ton of different coatings, and we found that, you know, the best way to do this was take what we discovered during COVID, an antimicrobial property, which is titanium, and coat a specific type of steel very similar to VG10, which is a Japanese steel. And it allowed us to continue to kind of have that bend, but also maintain that hardness, so it's razor sharp. So the beautiful part about the Titanox and the titanium coating is there is 0 moisture buildup. When you rinse this under the sink, water beads and falls off. And then the best part about it is titanium. We gotta be careful with this because our lawyers have advised against it, but titanium reduces bacteria by 99%. So, and that's more or less talking about harboring bacteria. So take a traditional knife, you cut raw chicken, that bacteria could be staying on there even if you hit it with some Dawn dish soap. So we wanted to reduce that. You know, we've coined these as the cleanest knives you can buy because of the antimicrobial properties of that titanium coating. So corrosion resistance, you're never gonna get any moisture to kind of break through that covering, which means you're never gonna get surface corrosion, and you're never gonna get any level of rust. And you're not gonna harbor bacteria. It's as easy as cutting something, rinsing it under the sink, maybe give it a little wash, and then dry it, you're good to go. So that covers corrosion resistance. Now the last part is durability. So going back to the steel, when we were playing with steel, we knew exactly what these knives are gonna be used for. They're not gonna be used to be cutting cow bones in half. They're not gonna be used to, you know, pry open a door or something like that. They're gonna be used to make delicate slice cuts, but also used to kind of dig in, butcher meat, steak, whatever. We knew we wanted to prioritize hardness, but we also wanted to prioritize flexibility in terms of how the knife can kind of bend around cartilage and bone when you're cutting it. So we went with our own proprietary blend. You know, it took a little bit of back and forth to kind of really nail what that blend was. Like I said, it's most comparable to the carbon content of VG10, if you're familiar with that, but we heat treat it to a hardness of 62. And once again, going back to the titanium coating, beautiful because the titanium coating can bend and flex with the blade. So not too bendy, not too flexible, still holds a very rigid feeling, but it's razor sharp. It can still move around different parts of meat, whether it's cartilage or bone or whatever. Durability, you know, leading into edge retention, you know, you're gonna hold an edge on this for a very long time. Every single blade is stone sharpened, and that's a big piece. So even down to the grit that we use to hone and sharpen these edges or finish these edges, they're gonna last a long time. How we recommend maintaining them, if you have a standard kitchen honing rod, that's fine. We're gonna come out with our own. We're also gonna come out with some stones. So once again, the idea behind these blades was to make them very usable for regular people, but still conquer that chef level of knife. So those are the biggest highlight points of the new blades. We've had an amazing amount of feedback so far. We're in tons of restaurants, I should say. A lot of people are now starting to stock these in their kitchens. It's really cool to see people start with one block and kind of build as they go. So we're extremely happy with how things are going. We're constantly improving the blades. We're constantly improving designs. And we're really, really excited to show you guys what's next. So appreciate you guys tuning in. This will be the first of many videos. So if this is the kind of content you like, just go ahead, drop a comment. We'd love that. Drop a like, share it, whatever. We're only getting started. So thank you so much once again for all the support, and look forward to next time.